What's up everybody? It's been a little while since I talked to you guys and I figured it's time for an update on the channel, let you guys know what's happening with all the cars, and what's new on the channel. So with that being said, we got the first big update, which is a new intro. So hope you guys like that new intro. I spent a lot of time trying to make it and get it to work just the way I wanted it to. Had to do a lot of research and watching a lot of tutorials to figure out how to make everything that I wanted to make. That is a new software that I ended up downloading. That was Premiere Pro. So that'll be what I'm gonna edit most of these videos with, is Premiere Pro. The old software that I had was pretty basic, couldn't do anything crazy with it. It was just pretty much just cut and splice and make it work and add music, where this is a little bit more in depth. So I've been trying to spend a lot of time watching tutorials and figuring it out. So that is the first big update for the channel, is new editing software. So hopefully I can bring better content for you guys, better editing, and make things look a little bit better, more smooth with transitions, and have it a little bit cleaner. So hope you guys are excited for that. I know I am. It's gonna be, like I said, a little bit of a learning curve to figure it all out, but I think it will be a huge improvement from what it was. And I know a lot of you guys did complain about the intro that I currently had, my original one, which when I first made that, I liked it, but then as the years went on, it has gotten a little outdated and old. So I think it is definitely time for the update. Now, with that being said, that intro is not the only intro we're gonna have. We're gonna have multiple versions of that intro. So that intro is specifically used for the Civic. Now, we're working on the Civic. You guys will see that initial 5 bars pop up. Like you saw, the Civic pops through and then it has like the Abnormal Garage logo and then it stacks out. Now we're working on the 240. It'll be the same exact intro, except it'll be the 240 rather than the Civic. So same thing goes the Explorer, all the other cars. So I can't wait to start making the changes and editing it and making it look different for each video that we work on. So hope you guys like that. If you guys do, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you guys have any advice or things that you guys think I should change or alter in any way. I'm down to listen. I've been, like I said, watching all the tutorials, trying to figure it out, and it turned out pretty good so far. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is my land. All right, so now to talk about the land and basically what I've been doing. Now in the video, which if you guys didn't know, if you guys are new to the channel or haven't seen, I recently bought land about a year ago and have been working towards paying that off. And in that video, I mentioned that I'm gonna be putting in a ton of hours at my job, trying to get it to pay it off. And that's basically what I've been doing. So videos have been kind of lacking, which clearly if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you have noticed that there hasn't been any content for a good 2-3 months at this point, which, sorry, I'm gonna try to be better at it. But I'm just really working towards getting that paid off. That way we can actually have a decent space, because in here it is quite cramped, quite small. I don't have all my cars in here, but the space is usable and it does function for what we need for right now. So I am thankful I am able to use this space and have the area to do what I do. But I want to get back into making content, have that space, and be able to keep working. So throughout this whole summer, whole spring, I've been putting in a ton of hours at my job, trying to get closer and closer to paying it off. And like I said, I am getting really close to being able to pay it off. I'm hoping either at the end of this year or sometimes beginning of next year, I'll be able to pay it completely off. And I'll let you guys know once that does happen, because that means I can start saving up and go for the next venture, which is building a shop space, house, all that whole thing, which I'll keep you guys up to date on that. We'll have a whole series on that once that does happen. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think that's about it as far as like the land goes. I just want to update you guys on that. We can go ahead and move on to each one of the cars now. And I think we'll start with the cars that are in here. So first up, the 240. So the 240 you guys have seen on the channel a few times. Recently we ended up putting on that rear lip on it, which was off of a Honda Accord, and surprisingly it fits really well and looks really good. The only thing is it's still black. One of the things I like to do is body match it to be the same color as the car. So that may be something we do here in the future, but the 240 has been sitting here for quite a while, and it actually has been sitting here for pretty much all year. I haven't done anything with it or hardly driven it or done, like I said, anything with it. It's just sitting here collecting dust. And the reason is because last year about this time, Luke, Brody, and I all took our cars out. So I had the 240, Luke had his Stinger, and Brody had his Focus ST. We decided to go cruising. We got some cool photos. I actually posted those on Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on there, check it out, because I like to take some interesting photos every once in a while and post them on there. But the 240, when I parked it and brought it back, it actually started leaking coolant. And based on what I found, it looks like it is the water pump. And I just haven't gotten around to getting a water pump yet to replace it and fix that. And I figured if we're gonna do the water pump, it's gonna become one of those things that once you start doing one small thing, it's just gonna keep snowballing into something bigger and bigger and bigger, because you're already that far. And with that being said, I think we'll probably tackle the whole cooling system at that point. New hoses, radiator, fans, water pump, probably do the timing, clean it up, maybe do the valve cover gaskets, the front main seal, all that stuff, which that's something that I don't know if I want to get into just yet, but maybe we'll do it over the winter. So that'll be the next big project on this car, is doing some engine work. Then also, as far as like exterior stuff, I mentioned the rear lip. There's the other thing that I have to install on this car, which I kind of want to do last year, which never ended up doing, but is some JDM power folding mirrors. I picked them up off of a buddy of mine and just never got around to installing those. So we'll be doing that here at some point, probably after I get the car back running, fixing the water pump. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, otherwise this car, pretty much my baby. I haven't really done too much to it. I mean, obviously it's not stock or anything. I put the wheels and stuff on it. It's got a new paint job. It's got the Koki skirts, Koki front end. It used to be a Zenki. It's got the Koki wing. So I wish I had a full build on this one, but unfortunately I don't. This is one I built before I started doing YouTube. So I don't know. It's just kind of sitting here in the background for now, and eventually we'll do some more stuff to it. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything too crazy with it as far as motor goes. Maybe we'll boost the KA at some point and go from there. But yeah, that's the 240 at this point. So I guess next up we'll move on to the Civic. So as far as the Civic goes, I've been driving it basically all summer. Been like really enjoying it, having fun with it, and just cruising around town. Definitely gotten a good feel for the car and understanding of what needs to be upgraded, changed out, and improved. A lot of it is kind of like little exterior things, and obviously I still want to do the 5-lug conversion, which that was the last video I think I did on this car, which we picked up that 5-lug kit for it. It was off of an EK9, well, I guess kind of redundant EK9 Type R, but that is kind of on the back burner at the moment, just because I'm still waiting on parts to get. And if any of you guys are building cars right now, you completely understand that a lot of this stuff is on back order and is hard to get. The main thing I'm waiting on right now is the rear trailing arm bushings, because those are blown out on the trailing arms that came with that EK9 pieces, and that's one thing I need. I've been looking at either hard raced or K-tuned. For those, I want the hardened rubber bushings. Still waiting for those to come in stock. Once they do, I will pick some up, and then we can be able to continue on with the 5-lug conversion. But at this point, we're just gonna, I think, focus on some of the exterior pieces, just because it is a clean looking car, but it is kind of rough at the same time. I'd like to go through, have like somebody do PDR on it, get like a majority of the dents out of it, and I know it needs paint and everything, but I think in the meantime, having it PDR'd, getting it cleaned up would be huge. I think the next thing we're gonna do is fix this crack in the bumper, just because that's kind of a nuisance, and once we fix that, we can go through. I would like to put the Type R front lip on it, put a Type R style grill. I don't know if I'll be able to find OEM, just because they're stupid expensive. Same thing with the lips. All that stuff is very expensive, but I like to go ahead and get that stuff. Also, on the rear end, I want to get the EK9 or EK4, I guess, rear lip for the back. And then the wing that's currently on there is like an EK4 style wing. I'll show you. It's carbon fiber. It's not in the best shape. It's really starting to fade and stuff, so we may re-clear this just to get it cleaned up. Also, the moldings and stuff, I want to go through and replace these. So either replace these or paint them, just get them looking fresh and new, because I don't know, they're looking a little rough and worn. The other thing too I want to do is either paint these, the mirrors, the door handles, the side skirts, get all that stuff done. But I guess I don't necessarily have the space in here to be doing anything of that kind of painting. I can do like the smaller stuff, like when we did Luke's truck, we did the interior pieces, and that seemed to work pretty well. But as far as like the exterior pieces where they're bigger, I don't know if this is adequate space, and it is getting to be wintertime, so I think I might try my hand at vinyl wrapping. And if we vinyl wrap, I think I would like to vinyl wrap the entire car, just because play around with colors, see what looks like something else. Obviously, the ideal color I want for this car is championship white, but that's the color I want it to be painted. So as far as vinyl wrapping, like I said, we can go any color, so if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'm leaning heavily towards red, obviously, so it matches the 240. But I think yellow would pop too. I don't ever see any yellow EKs, especially around here. But I think that'd be pretty sick to vinyl wrap this some sort of color like that. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But that'll pretty much be it for the Civic. Mostly just gonna focus on the exterior right now during the winter, just because, like I said, parts are kind of hard to find or out of stock currently. But yeah, other than that, the Civic's been really fun. The other thing I want to change out is the headlights. Love to get the EK9 headlights. Very expensive, and I kind of want to modify them just because the light output out of these headlights aren't great. I'd like to put in like some projector lenses figure that out and run either LEDs or HIDs in the front just to have better light output, because this thing sucks driving at night. There's like, you can't see anything. The quality is awful, and I know these things need to be like buffed and polished. They're pretty yellowed, and that might make some improvement, but overall the beam pattern is trash. So that may be something we do as well. So stay tuned for that. I think that pretty much wraps up the Civic. Like I said, mostly gonna focus on exterior components, just cleaning it up during the winter times. Unless we can get the rest of the 5-blood kit, then we'll move on to that and then go from there. I'm not really sure about anything on the interior unless anything pops up, like the black interior panels. Same thing with the I believe it's the UK EK4 interior. They had the black interior, so if I can find that, that's left-hand drive, that'd be awesome. That will be something I guess I've been looking for, but nobody has anything at the moment, so that's kind of on the back as well. And I guess that pretty much wraps up the Civic. So next up, we'll move on to the Subaru. Now, for the Subaru, last time you guys saw it, we ended up removing all the plastic dip off of it, getting it all cleaned up. That was a job and a half on its own. That took way too long, and that pressure washer using the dip dissolver helped a lot, but it also makes the car kind of look like trash now because it is in primer. It's got blue bumpers, black side skirts. It's just too many colors. It does seem like that paint, I remember I was gonna let you guys know that the hood, if you guys remember on the hood section up front where it was white, the dip had kind of stained it. It did come out a little bit, but it's still a little bit pink. I don't know, I'm gonna just keep letting it sit outside, see if it comes out even more. If not, it's no big deal. And basically what I think the plan is with that car, I've talked to my brother plenty of times about it to see what he wants to do. I think that car is gonna get sold. I don't think he wants to keep it anymore. We had our fun with it. We did what we wanted to it. But at this point, it's just kind of, he doesn't want to put any more money into it, which I understand. It's not the cleanest chassis to begin with. It obviously has a quarter panel rust, which you guys could kind of see from the video when we peeled the dip off. It's got a little issues with the motor. It likes to leak a little oil, which I feel like most Subarus from that generation do, whether it be the valve covers, the oil pan, the front main seal, any of that stuff. So all of it needs refreshed, and he doesn't want to put any money into it. So I think that car is going to end up leaving us, and he'll move on to something else, whether it be another project or just a daily for him. I don't know if we'll feature on the channel or not, but we'll see what he wants to do. And yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the next car, which will go from his Subaru to his Focus ST. All right, so moving on to the Focus ST. We haven't really made too many videos on that car, just a few here and there, just cosmetic things. You guys saw we did the mirrors, we did the tint on the mirrors, we did the front overlays on the emblems and the rear emblems. We also did the window louvers and the wing riser on the rear end. All that stuff looks awesome. I love the way that car looks. It's super clean. That tangerine scream color is just perfect, especially when that sunlight hits. Love the way that car looks. You got the white wheels, it just sets it off so nice. That's another thing too. I think if I did my Civic in yellow and got his car side by side, we both have the white wheels, I think they'd be looking really clean. But anyway, that's getting off topic. As far as the Focus goes, I'm not really sure what else he wants to do to it. He's got some exterior pieces that he wants to install at some point. When that happens, I don't know. It's up to him. It's what he wants to buy and do to the car. So we'll let him decide, and when he wants to do stuff to it, he can bring it here and we'll continue working on it. But otherwise, everything that we've done so far has held up great. The wing riser looks really good on there. No issues with leaking. It's held up great. The window louvers still stuck on, not falling off or anything. Those still look really good. And all the overlays, no fading or anything. Really happy with the way that car looks. But yeah, like I said, whatever he wants to do to that car, he'll let me know, and then we'll be able to update you guys, and we'll just keep making content on it. But yeah, the car is still around. He's still daily driving it. If he gets rid of the Focus, like I said, or not the Focus, the Subaru, that may be another build, but we'll see. Maybe he'll take the Subaru money and put it into the Focus. So we'll see. But yeah, that's about it on that. Next up, we'll move on to the Explorer. So onto the Explorer. Now that car's been a little bit of a build on the channel for a little while now. You guys have seen me do quite a bit to it. We did the wheels and tires, we've done the fender flares, we've repaired some of the rust on the quarter panels. We did that rear applique panel, which a lot of you guys have been asking about, and yes, that is held up great. There's no issues back there. It hasn't lifted. The 3M tape works perfectly fine. No cracking with that piece. We even went through the work of shaving down the rear mold or the rear emblem, so it's all completely smooth. That is currently still in primer, and then that front fender that we replaced too, still good. No rust, no issues there. It's still that e-coated green primer that's on there, and that's still good too. The only thing that sucks about that car is it is like 3 different colors, which eventually I'd like to change it out. That's another one that I would kind of like to vinyl wrap, and talking to my mom, because it is her car, she has picked out a color that she thinks would look really good, and I agree. And once we can get some time to actually bring it in the garage, that she doesn't have to drive it and I can have some time with it, that car will be getting final wrapped, and that'll be quite a big project because that is a good sized vehicle. That's why I'd almost like to practice on the Civic before I do the Explorers, because this is much smaller. Yes, this has a little bit more curves, but I think this will be easier just to get an understanding of using vinyl wrap before jumping into a big project like the Explorer. But that is kind of what's next for it. The other thing that I kind of want to do is a lift kit of some kind, whether it be like a little 2-inch lift kit, like a body lift. I think it'll make it look a lot better. And then wheel spacers, just because adding those fender flares really made those wheels sink in a little bit. And I want to give it a little bit wider of a stance. And then after that's all done, I'd like to put on some different lights on it for headlights, turn signals, different grille, taillights, just kind of finish it all off. And then once that's done, that should be completed on that vehicle. I don't think we're going to do anything too crazy with it or go above and beyond or any further with it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the ideas that we have for that. You guys have any suggestions of things that you'd like to see done to it, let me know, and we can maybe figure something out there. But that should be it on the Explorer. Now, that should be all the cars except for the Mazda. So next up, the B2000. So on to the Mazda B2000. Now it's been a little while since I've been able to update you guys, and I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me and ask me basically what's up with the truck, where it's been, what's happening. You guys have left me messages on both Instagram and YouTube, and basically, Luke, let me know that the truck is gone. So unfortunately, that's the update for you guys. I know it sucks. I would have liked to see the build come to an end and get finished on the channel. We had a lot of stuff that we had planned for it. We had pieces already ready to go and continue on with the build. We had the kit to lower it. We had the 5-lug conversion for the front end. So we had the Toyota knuckles, hubs, spindles, brakes, all those pieces. The only thing that we were working on was trying to find a Ford 488 rear end to do the 5-lug back there and have a differential and rear end capable of handling whatever motor we threw at it. I know Luke was leaning heavily towards the LS, and pretty much what had happened is Luke reached out to me, said he was bored of the truck. He was no longer enjoying it. He didn't want to put any more money into it, and he had just recently gotten that Kia Stinger. And the Kia Stinger, which you guys obviously know, you have a brand new car versus a truck from 1986. The brand new car, V6 twin turbo, all-wheel drive, bright, flashy, fun, just completely different from the old 86 truck. The 86 truck, you know, maybe like under 100 horsepower, slow, and it was a project, but like I said, he didn't want to put any more money into it or spend any more time on it. So with that being said, the truck is done. It'll not be finished on the channel, but it does sound like it did go to a good home. Luke did tell me that he sold it to an older gentleman that he works with, and from the sounds of it, the guy has had some experience and knowledge working on these trucks in the past and has taken good care of them, and it sounds like he's putting in quite a bit of effort and work into the truck. He's already done the brakes, he's already done the oil leaks, I think he replaced the clutch, and he's currently looking at getting it painted. So I'm glad it went to a good home. I'm glad somebody's able to take care of it and spend more time on it. I wish we could have done more to it, but it is what it is. The truck is done. So sorry to let you guys know, but we're gonna have to move on from it and continue on with the rest of the builds. And basically with that being said, I'm just gonna focus on my own projects rather than try and bring on like another car like of a friend's or whoever's. If Luke gets something else, I think we'll just kind of keep it as just a small feature build. We're not going to do like a full long-term build like what the truck was. So we're just going to focus on the Civic, the 240, my own personal cars, you know, and go from there. It's too hard getting our schedules to line up. That was a huge problem between him and I as well. Just our work schedules. He works completely different shift than what I work. So getting us together was a bit of a challenge, especially when I'm trying to work as many hours as I can to pay off my land and continue on with that. So with that being said, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it out here. It's kind of a big update for you guys. I went over all the cars, all the new updates, just one major letdown, which was the truck, but we're gonna continue on and keep moving forward with the rest of the builds. And I think the next video will be working on the Civic, so get excited for that. If you guys are, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I got plenty more stuff coming for you like we just mentioned on this huge update, and I will see you guys in the next one.